You know what I'm interested though? This is what I was thinking, and I said this other day. Cam Ward always gives us hope, but I'm interested because we talk about culture, we talk about the team. The biggest players, some of the biggest players are transfers. I wonder what would happen if we lose a game. You know what I mean? Because I that's when we really will find out what the team is made of. When you win it, everything's good. But when
Yeah.
you lose, that it's almost I don't want them to lose. I don't think they will lose this season 12-0. Like I'm talking about the regular season.
Yeah.
Playoffs is a different story. We got to see who they play and how they match up and all that stuff. But it's interesting to see how a team would react. Like Florida State lost, and then they just kept losing. And it's not like they don't have athletes. You know what I mean?
Well, that brings me to the next comment here, and we did mention this again too. But we do have players on this team that play, and they play all out. We mentioned Arroyo's play, and there was another comment at Mike M-AM5RN or OM5RN. I agree, Michael Yo. Nobody's talking about that. He saved a touchdown, and they got nothing out of it because of the fake field goal. That is, I wouldn't say that's true anymore. More and more in the last 24 hours in my feeds on my social media, I see that play with a little arrow next to him running all the way down, a la DK Metcalf from a couple years ago. I think that it did arguably save the game. And so I think that, you know, what you're talking about, what's the character of the team? Well, that you don't think he's showing that today in film?
100%.
Like, so I think there's a different character on this team, you know.
I do too, but I'm just interested to see what would happen if they ever lose before the playoffs. You know, it's a different thing. Like you know, the ugliness could turn its head, but I think they're good. I think, you know, Cam Ward brought us back at the end, but here's the difference from Arroyo and Cam Ward. Cam Ward forced himself in a situation where he had to bring us out. Arroyo was a star of that game, and I really think he saved the game. Like he was the hero of that game. Cam Ward dug his own hole to dig out of, you know, and he's a great player and he's phenomenal. And hopefully he wins the Heisman. But Arroyo running 60 yards, 120 yards, they said, to catch this dude and them not to get any points after it. I mean, that dude to me, he's the player of the game. Player of the game.
It would have been 34-17 then.
It would, and I hate to say it, but that's a big, especially the way the defense was playing. That would have been, I don't want to say impossible, but it would have been really tough.
At D, what is it? I can't even. It's not a real word. At DONPHOTHILAT 6977. You know who you are.
Who makes these names?
I don't know.
Who are these people, man? Just what's wrong with Steve?
Yeah.
Add Steve. There you go. Now I know who you are. Who the hell are these people?
I know.
He said number 24, Malik Bryant, playing hell of a beast. Go Canes. And we didn't mention him at all in the live podcast. And
yeah. I mean, that dude was a beast. He stopped the fake field goal, and he was playing great, man. These young guys are coming in and doing some work.
Yeah. And then just last couple comments here about AJ Allen, because we did talk about AJ Allen. Of course, you know, we're not going to go a podcast without talking about AJ Allen.
That's right.
Two comments at Big Frank 7179. There you go. Rudy, it's better for you.
That's a good name. I like that. Yeah.
AJ problems is a liability in the passing game. He needs to know how to block. If you can do that, he'll be on the field more. And at base DJ Iron 3889. He thinks it's a silly talking point because Damian is the bell cow back, and they're rotating 3 to 4 backs a game, and it throws off his rhythm. Your RB1 should be not reduced to 14 carries. Teams are selling out to stop the run, and Dawson isn't committing to the run. When they committed to the run in the second half, he had 130 yards. They had 130 yards in the second half. So he thinks we shouldn't even be spreading it out, you know. But
can I tell you why that's not? Let me tell you why that's not a good comment. What this guy just said. He said they weren't committed to the run the first half. They were. They just couldn't do it. Second half, they started playing better. Don't act like the first half they were like, well, we're not going to run this half. We're just not going to. No, they tried. It didn't work. Committed to the second. They wanted to run the whole game. Not just the second. It just worked out better in the second half. And let's be honest, Cam Ward ran for 57 of the yards. So really, they ran for 30-something yards rushing with the running backs. In the second half, they ran for another 60. So we're saying that's committed to the run, but it's 60 yards more. It's 30 yards more than the first half. It's not like it's game-breaking numbers because Cam Ward had 52 or 57 of the yards. So they didn't play better in the run game. And it doesn't To me, the reason why they can't run is because you need a different style of back. You got to change it up more, man. You got to change it up. And like I said, I think all these running backs are great and they can start anywhere. But I just think you got speed. You need speed against some teams, not power.
I said it a little bit yesterday, and I kind of echo it again, is love Cam Ward. He's the best player on the team, best quarterback we've ever had. We've said all this stuff. But him being the Heisman favorite is great. But it also means that he's going to try and get his every game, yards and touchdowns and stuff like that too. And that might be affecting the running game as well too. I know you're saying we tried it, it's not working, but I'm just saying I don't think we stick with it as much as we have in years past. And, if we keep winning games, fine. But that's definitely something there, I think.
Well, but here's the thing. Cam Ward moves the ball unlike any quarterback we've had in the last 23 years. So I would, we got great running backs, but if he can get 25 yards in a pass because you got great receivers, do that all day long and then work. Running game to me can be second. I'm fine with that when your quarterback is Cam Ward. Yeah. When your quarterback was somebody else, nah, you need to run it. You need to establish your run game.
One last comment. At Forrest Shaw said, Wisconsin shit the bed. So that's in there.
The entire state of Wisconsin also said Wisconsin shit the bed.
That's rough. That's rough in the game.
Oh, man. Yeah. It was, we did well against, we do well in we're definitely a first half team. We do very well the first quarter. We do very well the first 7 minutes of the second quarter. And then from there, it's a crapshoot. And boy, Alabama just steamrolled. It was a terrible weekend for Wisconsin.
You mean USC?
No, USC.
Oh, I'm sorry. USC. Sorry. It was awful. Awful. The entire weekend.
Yeah, I mean, like 21-3 or 21-6.
We've had moments now where we can say like, hey, we were beating this team for a little while, and then it just all went to shit, and it went terrible. And between that and between that and then the Packers game yesterday, it was, man, there was a lot of spotted cow consumed in Wisconsin because it was brutal to watch.
Here's the difference between Cam Ward and that quarterback from Wisconsin. I mean, it's a big difference, but that quarterback, you were just waiting for the self-destruction. He's not a good quarterback. That's why TVD won the job. Mm-hmm. He's not a great quarterback. And when they were up, I was like, oh, they still gonna lose this game. Yeah. They're still going to lose because they don't have the firepower on that team, Wisconsin.
No.
And I love Wisconsin. I love them.
Yeah. Braden Locke, as we have mentioned many times, needs to change the spelling of his name, and I think he would maybe pad his stats a little bit more, and maybe people would get behind him because they would know how to pronounce his name correctly, because the way he spells it now, it's like somebody just took alphabet soup and just threw it on the wall and was like, that's how you spell your name, bud. It drives me nuts every time I see it. So, I was looking up stats throughout the last couple of games today, and just every time I see his name written, I'm like, I don't know why it drives me nuts, but it sucks when you lose that bad and your name's spelled like a freaking kindergartner spelled it.
And big shout outs to Rudy and his t-shirt, Cafecito Comedy. Yeah. That is a big night. Our good friend Justin in Miami Improv, he throws it out there. So he's rocking the shirt. Cafecito Comedy. Let me take a picture. Let me take a picture of this and send it to Justin. Hold on. I'm taking this picture for Justin. This is for you, Justin. We doing it. All right, Forrest, do we move on to Cal now? Oh, my God. Forrest got the Shakira shirt on representing Miami.
Yeah. Right. This means laundry day in the Forrest household. Yeah. Right here, I wear the Shakira shirt. But
I'm wearing J-Lo underwear, so we're matching. So it's great.
I left my Ricky Martin t-shirt in the closet. I'm sorry. I'll wear it next time.
I hope that was my pun intended.
That was great.
Can we do Cal now, Forrest?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. So let me tell you, I watched some film on Cal. They play Florida State. I mean, first of all, DJU is terrible. I mean, this dude is – I know that's about Florida State, but, man, I heard he might not even start this week. So, I mean, they ran his – when you pay as a person $800 to $1 million and then you got to bench him because they're 1-4. I mean, the dude was awful, and he threw like 20 – I'm going to mess this up, but it seemed like he threw 20-something passes for 177 yards. It's like it's pathetic. I will say the reason why I'm talking about Florida State, I will say they did run the ball okay on Cal. That their running back number 9, Tafuya. I don't know how to say it.
Tafuya. I don't know how to say it either. Tafuya.
I'll just say number 9. He ran for about 80 yards. He looked great in the game. Yeah. One thing I did notice, Cal really couldn't run the ball at all. So I think our defense is going to hold up well against the run, which is going to open up that quarterback, because that quarterback threw for over 300 yards, I believe, against Florida State. He's a good quarterback.
Fernando Mendoza, he flew for 303 yards. They rushed for 107 as a team. And that was the stats for Cal. Florida State, you're right, 16 of 27 for $177 for DJ. And they rushed for 107 when you take away the sacks. I mean, when you add this, when the sacks are added.
Oh, so my goodness.
132 without the sacks. But so Florida State couldn't do anything. And that was kind of like what I mentioned yesterday was, Cal does have a defense. Look, they've given up, they're 12.8 points against, 12th in the nation. They played UC Davis, fine, but at Auburn, then San Diego State, and then at Florida State. So they've played legitimate programs, and they've proven their defense is legit. I'm not saying we can't score against them. I'm just saying they have a good defense. So
I will say this: Auburn's not good. They lost to Arkansas the next week. I mean, I think they were
playing. Game for Cal, though. A road game.
Huh?
Still tough. A road game.
Yeah, it's still tough, but I'm not impressed by that. It's Auburn. They lost 2 games in a row. It could be tough, but they're not good. That's the thing. They're not good. Tough game, but not good. Like Virginia Tech, they might not win another. I mean, they'll win another game, but they're not great. We just played horrible against them.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I'm not impressed by Florida State. I'm not impressed by Cal. I watched the tape. I think the quarterback could give us troubles because he's a dual threat quarterback. And usually, if you can kind of run around in the pocket, you can make some plays here and there. But I just think Miami's defensive line is going to be too strong. Bain is coming back. They're going to stop the run, and then they're going to get to the quarterback. They'll wear him down. This will be more like a USF game. I'm not going to say they're going to score in the 50s, but I think it'll be close to first quarter, and then it's just going to wear him down. It'll just wear him down in Cal. And I love Cal's Twitter. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's so funny. They're not about disrespect. They're all about respect the Canes. So they're doing these funny memes of the Canes and Cal rolling up joints. It's like woke versus instead of disrespect, it's respect the Canes. It's so funny.
They have the communists versus the convicts. That's what they were doing.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're making fun of themselves at the same time. Like it's self-deprecation, which I kind of thought was fun, and all these AI memes and stuff that are really
in Miami. It is funny to see all the Miami fans because I know the ones that troll, and they're like, "Yo, we can't even do that. Like this is awesome."
I think there's one where the bear is giving the ibis, or the ibis is giving the bear some cocaine, and then or the bear's rolling up the weed. Like it's like, yeah.